What's good, Bucket Busters? This is your host, Ro Zapanta, and this is my co-host, the glorious, the notorious Tim Johnson.
Rip City!
And this is the Busted Bucket Podcast, locally grown here in Portland, Oregon, the City of Roses, the City of Bridges, Stumptown, PDX. We are a show with no rules, just a couple of friends who so happen to love Portland basketball. Tim Johnson.
Yes, sir.
How you living, my friend?
You know, I'm good. It's a beautiful day out right now.
Amen.
Little bittersweet today because I wish we had a better result last night, but I'm still doing okay.
Man, I'm doing okay too, because today we have a special guest. Big John Lukrofka is back on the show. John joined us earlier this season. He talked about what it's like to work with Blazers Broadcasting as an EBS operator. He talked about his experiences around the team, the league as a whole. He had a lot of great stories. He discussed potential MVP candidates, his thoughts around the Blazers at that particular time. If you haven't heard it or watched it on YouTube, check it out. Season 2, Episode 16, John. It's great to have you back on the show, my friend. How you living?
I was living a lot better a few seconds ago outside in my urban oasis. Sipping tea.
So you got that iced tea there.
Uh-huh.
And then you guys bugged me for this. And then my Wi-Fi doesn't work, so I got my bootleg Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And then I was out there, like I said, chilling in my urban oasis with an iced tea, and then now I'm in here with you guys.
Man, I was telling Tim, the audacity of Tim, I was like, he didn't have to move, man. But Tim was like, nah, he's got to.
We appreciate
I
your
I gotta work on this dad bod, so I need to get as many steps as I can get.
I like it. John, I don't know if you know, but we're on the Basketball Podcast Network now. We did it. We sold out. And, you know, I think just after speaking with you, things just started to take off for us. So we want to thank you for, contributing to our success. So thank you for that. Yeah.
You can thank me with a little cake. The season's almost over here in a little bit.
John,
I don't have a lot of summer work.
John, we tried to give you a gift last time. You turned that down.
Now,
so you set the precedent.
Now I know what Dame feels like, just carrying everybody on his back.
Amen, man.
Right? Now I know how my boy D feels.
Well, ironically, what we have to do is we're going to talk about the show summary. We're going to talk Blazers first, the current state of the West, our best matchups in the playoffs, and then we're going to get life updates with Big John. We want to hear from you. We want to know what was different between back then and now. And then we end it, of course, with our silly giving props segment. And with that, our moneymaker, we gotta give the word from our sponsor. Get a little more out of watching NBA games with Daily Fantasy. Every CJ step back, Cantor rebound, or Dame game winner means so much more when you're playing with DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports.
Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code TBPN for your shot at millions of dollars in total prizes throughout the week. That's promo code TBPN to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
So the last time we recorded a pod, we had a win against the Rockets, a win against the Jazz, and last night, man, 117, 118, a loss to the Suns in just a really close game. Really, really close game. Just general thoughts on the game, John. I want to know, what did you think?
That was a hard-fought battle, man. During our broadcast, you know, a couple times on the headsets, the guys we were talking about, we're like, damn, dude, this feels like a playoff game.
Absolutely.
Which basically all these games are now down the stretch.
Well, each game means so much.
That Utah game, that was a playoff battle. You know, you can make excuses. You're playing two of the best teams back to back, which is tough. I know the guys probably got into the hotel 2:30, got your bags 2:45. You know, they're not sleeping till 4. But you know, Coach Stotts and Dame and those guys, they're not giving out excuses. But as far as on the court, that was a battle, man. If Dame stepped it up, just like always, man. It's just crazy. It's a trip, man. It's like you just expect every one of those shots down the stretch to go in. And with him, shit, they did, right? I mean,
Yeah,
at one point he was like 9 for 9 in the quarter. Yeah, that was a tough one, man.
Yeah.
That's a good team. Phoenix is a good team. Coach Monty Williams has them doing what they need to be doing. And, you know, they were without Ayton, so take it for what you will. But, you know, I'm sure the boys were bummed about that, but we've got another one coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dame, 41, 5-5. Tim, what did you think?
Yeah, Dame put it down like he always does. CJ had another great game, and I wish, the one thing I wish I would have seen is a little more feeding the post. Like, I felt like Nurk could have had a really big game that game, especially with no Ayton.
Yeah.
I don't really know why we went away from it, but I'm an old head when it comes to basketball. I love the bigs. I love big play. So just the fact that they went away from Nurk, I know it's kind of our bread and butter to go to Dame and CJ. I just wanted to see more Nurk, man, especially the way he's been playing as of late.
Yeah, I mean, Nurk, Cantor. I mean, you're going up against Frank Kaminsky and Dario Saric. Like, take advantage of those guys, man. You know what I mean?
Don't dog on the tank.
Frank the Tank.
Don't dog on the tank.
Nurk, though. He's no Nurk. He's no Cantor. So I thought he should have abused them. That's what I
absolutely.
thought.
It's an interesting thing, man. I mean, you look at Denver, and they go through Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different. I mean, there's similarities, but I mean that's just a big ass point guard out there, man. So you're able to do that. You're able to bring him up to that high post and just have guys cutting, as you obviously see. What's been really cool for me to see is Nurk's chemistry with CJ and Dame is back. I mean, the pick and rolls are great. Those give and goes are fantastic. Those backdoor cuts are sweet. We saw one last night that was really good where Norm was on the wing ready for that three, came up and set a back screen for Dame. Dame went backdoor for an easy bucket. I love seeing that kind of stuff. So it's good to see that chemistry is back.
Yeah,
but as far as
well, I was going to say one thing we've been talking about on the show is we like that we're seeing more Dame off ball. Like we don't see that enough, right?
Yeah, absolutely
right.
Don't see it enough. Yeah.
And with coaches drawing up that trap once Dame brings that ball over the court, maybe they're prepping for the playoffs when the Clippers or whoever are going to do that.
Yeah.
They obviously weren't double teaming CJ last night. Every time Dame got it, they were. So I like that. That's a good point.
Yeah, and Dame still shot 69% from the field. I mean, he was still absolutely productive, and it's always funny watching these games with Dame where it just seems like he's almost like hiding for the first three quarters, and you just kind of feel it like another episode of Dame time is gonna happen, because in the fourth, that he's just saving it. And I just want to touch on that Nurk thing. Nurk is a surprisingly great passer. I mean, we saw that full court pass, right? I know the NFL draft just happened, but he would have been a great QB prospect. Just that full court, one-handed down the court. Absolutely amazing to CJ McCollum. That was great to see. And that was in the Jazz game. But Nurkic, Tim was criticizing Nurkic maybe like a few pods ago, saying he was a little down on him and was like, is this the best Nurkic that we're going to get? And he is absolutely just turned a 180. He looks great.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, Tim, you're better than that, man. You're better than that. You have a nationally syndicated podcast now. You're better than this.
That was before we joined.
It's true.
Okay, well, then that makes true. Once he started getting that fat bank, then he starts changing things. I see how it is.
Right.
No, man, but we were talking about this before we went on about these fans and I mean, that, for example. I mean, basketball is a game of runs, and not just in a game. I mean, it's 5-game chunks, half a season, 2 years. I mean, there's always trends. And, you had mentioned, Twitter and Reddit and all these forums. I'm on a sports forum. I won't plug them because they got to pay me if they want me to.
Nice.
I'm joking.
Nice. I like it.
Was
it DraftKings?
That's the only thing I go to, right?
Tell
your sponsor I have no disposable income. I have 2 teenagers. I'm not betting anything, man.
That's good.
I don't have any money. I'm sorry, DraftKings. I know you got a great program going there. But no, man, as far as being down on Nurk, hey, that's everybody's. I said it earlier. It's called fans because it comes from fanatic. I mean, you're just a nut job thinking about this and how much this and like Tim being down on Nurk. Hey, he wasn't playing well. You got it. But big picture wise, you understand there's runs and trends and on these sports forums and stuff, and Twitter, it's just like you hear people cracking on Dame. I'm like, are you out of your goddamn mind?
Yeah.
I mean, this dude has built up talk about DraftKings. This dude has built up so much credit. You know what I'm saying? So much credit. That dude can miss his next 100 shots, and I don't give a damn. You know, and there's people like, no, Dame's trying to showboat and be That's Damian Lillard, dude. And I'm a big fan of CJ, and I know people just kill CJ sometimes, and it's just like, dude, my boy can, when it needs to be done, it gets done, and people kill Melo, and I can't believe Melo's in the game. Well, you could have Tolliver, and you could have Hezonja out there.
Well, and here's the thing about Melo is I think people a lot of times forget the fact that he's on a vet minimum too. Like, you're not getting that kind of production out of anyone else on a vet minimum.
No. And there's not too many people on a vet minimum that Damian Lillard wants on the court with him in a tie game with a minute left.
Right.
And and when Melo came in, that's what I was telling people. I got coworkers that are nut jobs. And oh, Carmelo, no, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, the guy's going to get you 6 free throws a night down the stretch on pure cred. I mean, just like Chris Paul gets 6 a night. It's you blow on Melo, he's going to get, he's going to get 6 points for us. And you got to take the good with the bad when you get that situation, man. You got, I see guys out there like just staring at him at the eyes, trying to play defense. They're in just awe of him. It's like, it's a game of runs, man. Melo's going to be up. He's going to be down. He's lost his game. He's won his game. That's sports, bro. That's what it is.
I mean,
it's called fanatics for a reason, man. Fans.
I mean, that defensive play that Melo had on Booker. Oh my goodness, what a stop! Trying to get him
just a
to
heady
travel.
Play, man.
It was, dude. He caught him completely off guard, and like that's like a vet move, right? You know he's gonna go on a fast break. You just stand still, put your hands out, force him to make a move. He loses his dribble, and that's a travel, man. And that's one of the things that we gotta tread carefully here, because we're gonna talk about the decisions late game. I mean, you had an inbound game or an inbounds, for free throws, and the ball ends up in Rocco's hands. Me and Tim were talking about this. We're like, why? How did Rocco get this ball?
Right, like bringing it back.
Tim, do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Maybe just a little bit. I mean, just bringing it back around to Nurk again. I just want to say before I get into that, my criticism of Nurk wasn't necessarily a criticism of him, just the fact that he's been out for so long. Like,
oh, here we go, backpedaling.
No, I know. I'm not backpedaling. I'm just saying, like, I wasn't 100% sure that the chemistry was going to return before the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like we were heading down the wrong path at that time.
Oh God,
and I was just
dark.
thinking, it was dark, man. And as a Blazer fanatic, like it's hard to see that, because you know what you can get from Nurk. You know what he's shown you in the past, and like he's better than what he was playing. And I understand, like, it was gonna take him some time to get his sea legs under him, right? And I wasn't sure that he was gonna get there before the playoffs. But that being said, that inbounds play. Going back to the Jazz game, you saw the touchdown pass to CJ. You know Nurk is a great passer. Why wouldn't you have Nurk there on the inbounds instead of Melo? You know that Melo was at least going to make one of those free throws. You know that, I mean, the Suns knew that we were going to try and get it to Dame or CJ, right? At least have Rocco inbounds. Like, he's a decent passer too. But I just, if I were in Stott's position, and of course I will never be there, but if I were in Stott's position, I probably would have had either Rocco or Nurk. Like, my choice would have been Nurk. I mean, the guy's 7 foot tall. He could see over everybody. Like, he could see.
I'll be totally honest. I'm working my heads down. Are you talking on the made free throw when we had to take it out and then just go because we only had a?
We're talking about we had an inbounds play that sent Rocco to the line, and then Rocco ended up missing 2 free throws. Right. And we were wondering how did Rocco, or why did that play break down?
Like how does it get
for Rocco to get that ball?
I got you.
Yeah,
sure.
And the question is like, why does Westbrook always get the ball late down the stretch for free throws? Why does Harden always get it late down the stretch for free throws, but we can't get it to Dame, CJ, or Melo? 3 options where it's like, these guys are clutch shooters. They'll knock it down. Rocco, it's like, you kind of look at his eyes. It's like, has he been in this position before? I can't think of a time in Houston with Philly where he's had to shoot 2 clutch free throws. And we found out today, or yesterday, that might not be the best option.
That may not be his strength.
Did you have any thoughts on that play, John?
I mean, I'll be totally honest. Rocco's what? 83% shooter, 84% shooter. Am I way off?
No, you're like, I think it's like 82 when I looked it up yesterday.
Yeah, and obviously
it's a good percent. That's a good point.
Situations, yeah, but I mean, situations like that, I'd have to honestly go back and look at the play. I mean, I don't know, were they doubling Dame coming off a curl? Did somebody step up and show so CJ couldn't come off a screen? I honestly don't know. When it comes to that, that's tough. You saying, why does Westbrook hit it? That fucker probably runs over and like literally grabs the ball. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong there.
I love Russ. I'm the only guy in Portland, Oregon that loves Russ. I'd trade Dame, CJ, Nurt, and all our draft picks for Russ right now. I love Russ so much.
Let's hope Dame doesn't listen to our show.
Dude, trust me. I get so much heat, man, from all my boys. I love Russ. But as far as that, man, I can't honestly answer that. I'd have to, if you had the play right here, we could talk about it, and maybe I should have come more prepared. But yeah, I mean, half of that is demanding the ball. I mean,
yeah, that's also true.
You get in that clutch situation, and I tell you what, you guys are too young, man. Chris Webber, he pooped the bed in the NCAA championship game.
I remember that.
He thought he had a timeout, and that's Chris Webber, the best player in the country.
Yep.
I mean, stuff tightens up. You start getting nervous. You start thinking if they're coming off the inbounds like that, maybe he's starting to think about that 5 count. Doesn't want to turn it over and just gets it into whoever. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
situations, man. Pressure.
If anything, I think this is a learning thing that at least they figured this out before the playoffs. I hope they learn from this and just think maybe we shouldn't get Rocco the ball here. Maybe we should burn the timeout if we don't get it to Dame, Melo, or CJ. I think that'd be the best option. I know we had an extra timeout at that time that we ended up using on a challenge. We ended up using up that timeout on a challenge. Did you guys think it was a foul?
Well, I can tell you right away. I had 6 looks at it right away. I told our guys that it was a foul.
It was 100% a foul.
Yeah, he got him on that arm, and I'm not big at all on. Oh, in that situation, you don't blow the whistle, dude. Come on, I'm not about that. If you are about that, that's your opinion. I'm like, a foul in the preseason, third quarter of a preseason game against some team from Spain is exactly like a foul in the game 7 of the finals. If it's a foul, it's a foul. Yeah. That stuff usually works itself out. As last night you saw, Saric is like an 85% shooter. That bro missed 3 of them. And so it comes back. It's just stuff evens itself out. And Norm fouled Booker, plain and simple. I can tell you that. I do remember that play. So when they, what do you do? Everybody is all mad at Stotts for challenging it. This challenge thing has been really interesting. It's been crazy. And I wish I could have like a FaceTime going with one of my assistants on the bench and tell my boy Tibbs or Jimmy Moe or Coach Oz, hey dude, that was a bad call, do it. But we're not going to break the rules. We don't want to break. We don't want that insider trading going on. But no, it was a foul. I don't know. What do you do? There was 0.9 seconds on the clock when that whistle went down, and maybe the coaching staff just said, hey, if there's ever a time to try it, let's just try it right now. We only got 0.9. Maybe they'll reverse it. So see, for me, I think that's maybe what they were thinking. We actually did get time put back on the clock because they challenged it, right? Didn't they go back to 2.4? They went back to 2.4. So I don't know, man. When it comes to this challenge stuff, it's bananas. And Norm, I didn't have a camera on him. Maybe Norm turned around and said, "Stop! I did not touch him." Yeah, when your player says that, I mean, it's that simple. I mean, a lot of people are freaking out. It could have been something that simple. CJ's right there too. He said, no, that was clean. You know,
Right.
you know, you don't hear a lot of people, you know, congratulating Stotts or the coaching staff when we do win challenges. It's just always, you know, that's just not the typical behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim, what did you think?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it was a foul. I was just gonna say this whole coaches challenge thing has been interesting. What is this like the third year it's been around? It's really interesting how it changes the game sometimes, like especially in pivotal moments like this. Like, you know, if it turns out the other way, the Blazers win, right? Blazers win that game. You know, after talking with you, John, like I get what you're saying. Like it's interesting. Like it could have gone either way. If it goes the other way, we win. If it goes the way it did, then obviously, like, we still have 0.9 seconds to figure it out. And with Dame on the court, it's entirely within the realm of possibility that we knock a shot down with you know, less than a second. But
0.9 and a timeout, right?
Did
We wouldn't have lost the time.
Oh,
We
yeah,
wouldn't have
yeah,
lost
yeah,
our time.
yeah. If we won,
So,
yeah.
so that is why people were upset, was because we lost
absolutely.
the timeout with it. Dude, you can't think like that. I mean,
Yeah.
Norm turns around, coach, I didn't touch him. Boom. Let's do it. Let's replay.
I mean,
You know
I
what I'm
suppose as a coach, like, you have to listen to your players in that moment, right? Like, you
at some point, yeah. And in our defense, no one's ever won a game on 0.9, right?
Wait, Dame?
question.
Dame Lillard?
Yeah,
Dame?
Of course.
Yeah, I was gonna
Dame
say.
Lillard.
Yeah,
I was testing you guys. You're not Blazer fans.
I was like, I feel like this is
Dame-
a trick question here.
I was like,
You
it's
guys
Dame
are Laker-
Lillard.
You guys are,
Of course
you guys
it's
must be
it.
Laker fans. How do you not know 0.9?
0.9
Where do
against
I
Houston.
talk to, where
Game
do I
7.
talk to your fans? Where do I talk to you?
right there, just look
Right- yeah, right
straight
there, right
into. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, check it out. Check it out, dog. These dudes didn't even know about 0.9. and you dudes are sponsoring these craps? Yeah, AJ, RJ, clip that part.
Honestly, I was
That was actually
it's RJ.
that shot was actually my background on my work computer for the longest time.
I set you guys up and you failed.
Now
Man,
it's
I was-
the bad shot.
I just had to think about it. I was like, do I correct him right now?
You were both
Like, what
looking
do-
at each other too.
Yeah,
you
we
know
were
what-
like,
you know what
should
the
I
problem
correct
is?
him?
He said, who wants to tell this dude that he doesn't know what he's talking about?
You know where I went wrong is I was thinking about other teams. That's where I went wrong. I was like,
Oh man,
what other teams have done that?
this guy.
I'm sorry, fans.
It's okay, John. We'll just cut it out.
You know, going back to
Yeah.
that.
We'll fix it in
Yeah,
post.
AJ, RJ, whatever you're doing. Don't cut that out. I got your back. You can take one of these guys' spots.
You know, going back to that play, I mean, I know this was the defensive lineup at the time. It was Dame, CJ, Powell, Melo, and Rocco. Do you know who I would have loved to see in there?
Hakeem
My
Olajuwon.
man. Yes. Derek Jones
absolutely.
Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, homie's disappeared on the bench, and I hate to see it in a spot where defensively we would need someone's length like that. Anyway, that game is now over. Right now we're sitting. Let's see here. I'm gonna look at the standings here, the current standings.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, go
Before
ahead.
we move on, I want to get John's perspective here. You mentioned Derek Jones Jr. Why has he been riding the pine, man?
Yeah, I know, man. It's weird. We're asking the same question.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure. Rotation being tightened down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dame even said that yesterday, that he thinks the turnaround was when they tighten things down. Was that yesterday? 2 games ago? Maybe after the Utah game? That the turnaround kind of came when we tightened things down and got it more into a playoff mode.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows, man? Chemistry with guys on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not a metrics guy. Maybe there's metrics that show that these guys, the whole plus minus and offensive efficiency is up when he's off the court. I mean, dude, no clue. I'm not inside. I'm not inside that locker room with those guys. What do you guys think?
I don't know, man. I mean, I thought it was interesting that as soon as we signed Rondé Hollis Jefferson, Derek Jones Jr. takes a back seat. Like, this guy, you You bench this guy for a dude that you know nothing about. Like you don't know what you're gonna get from him, and you sign him to a 10-day contract, and this guy's getting minutes over our starter for most of the season.
Rondé Hollis Jefferson, former Trailblazer, making a triumphant return.
Former Trailblazer that never saw a minute on the court.
That's my running joke. My running joke during our broadcast. It just gets my producer just freaks out, and I go, "Oh, look who's checking in the game, former Trailblazer," and they just insert name, and they could either have been drafted and we never saw them, or they could have been trade rumors. Like DJ Augustine was. Mm-hmm. What, for 15 years there's been rumors he's coming here, and I was like, look at that former Trailblazer DJ Augustine is running point for these guys. I didn't even know he was on the squad. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. It's just it was baffling to me because we know what we were getting from Derek, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't like he was a game changer every time he saw the court, but he did some good things defensively for us, and you saw flashes here and there offensively where he could not necessarily take over a game, but he can make some key offensive wins for us, and it was weird just seeing him ride the pine. Like I didn't understand, because my worry was that we were going to run up against some of these teams where we're starting 3 guards, 6'3" and under, where we're going to run into these teams with some serious length and just get dominated.
Well, I remember a time where there were rumors that we were interested in Lonzo Ball, and all of Blazers Twitter was just freaking out because Derek Jones Jr. would have been part of that package. Mm-hmm. And just the upside of him cutting to the basket, just rising above everybody and catching lobs and stuff like that, just imagining that chemistry with Dame, everyone was very excited for the prospect of Derek Jones Jr. just being a staple in our lineup. And it's strange. I mean, this guy, Rondé Hollis Jefferson, comes in and absolutely steals his spot and even starts a game. He started a game, which was absolutely crazy. But moving on, I'm going to talk about the standings in the West. So number 5 now, we have the Mavericks, and a little update on them. Luka picked up his 16th technical, which makes him 1 game away from suspension. Number 6, we have our Trailblazers. Number 7, the Lakers. And, with them, who knows who's playing? I mean, Dennis Schroeder in and out of the lineup. LeBron James injured or not injured. Anthony Davis with back spasms. The seemingly hot Golden State Warriors. They own the tiebreaker with the Grizzlies, who are 9th, and they're currently tied. And 10th, we have the Spurs. And kind of quickly, I want to know, who do you guys want to match up with in these playoffs? So we have potential matchups here with the Suns, the Jazz, the Clippers, depending on how the winds shuffle. John, what do you think? Of those teams, who would you want to face?
Well, first of all, man, in my background, you got to put all those math equations. From my boy from The Hangover, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm just like this, just sitting there trying to figure it out. You need to put all that in the back and have AJ do that stuff for me.
AJ.
Dude, I'll be honest, bro. In a regular season, these last couple days are bananas. Mm-hmm. If so-and-so does this, then so-and-so does this, and there's 350 things. This season's even crazy. Mm-hmm. And
yeah,
like what you were saying, I'm trying to keep up, and I'm just like, holy crap, man. Who knows what's going to happen? And does Denver want to sit there, guys, and let us win because they don't want to play us? They do want to play us, and then these teams would rather play us than the Lakers, so it's better for us to lose. I mean, dude, this is bananas. And I'll be damned if it comes down to LeBron versus Curry, right? Yeah. For in that play-in or something like that. I mean,
yeah.
I promise, I don't know anything, but I'm just saying, if LeBron doesn't make the playoffs because of this, I doubt you see it coming back. Mm-hmm. I mean, the league playoffs without LeBron. I mean, could you imagine?
That's a great take. Yeah.
And then Luka, who I love, that dude's game is just sick. He gives old dudes like myself out of shape him and Jokic. Dude, come on. I wasn't always this old and I wasn't always this out of shape, but it's funny how your favorites and characteristics of your favorites and traits changed.
Yeah.
But if you're an old dude who can't jump and you're slow, is out there killing it, it makes my day. But Luka hits this kid in the junk, gets kicked out of the game, and then the league they don't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine if Draymond Green popped that dude like that? I mean, we just did ever hear about it again.
Yeah.
He literally punched that kid in the twig and berries, and they didn't, and nothing happened. So anyway, you weren't asking that. Who do I want to see? I don't want to see the Clippers.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't want to see, and I'm talking about us just making it. I'm not even talking about the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. I want to play the Suns, and I said this 3 days ago. I tweeted it out to both my followers.
Yeah, I saw that.
My mom and my dad are the only followers.
Hey, you got 3.
I tweeted it out. I'm like, am I the only Blazer fan that wants to play the Suns? You know, I was talking about, do we want to win this game? Do we want to slide? I say let's jump head in. You know, people might think I'm crazy. Coach Stotts and Damon them might kill me, but go into the damn play-in, beat Memphis or beat Golden State. Scared to play Curry, that's for sure. Steph this time of year. Okay, and then what? Who's number 1? Phoenix?
Jazz.
I think so. Or Jazz.
Let's take our chances and not play the Clippers. I mean, I don't want to play the Clippers or the Jazz. I think those are the two I want to stay away from. My computing power isn't up there enough to tell you why. Just but from vibe and knowing the players and knowing, I don't want to go up against those guys, man. That win in Utah was fun. That was cool to show. I mean, they're missing guys, of course, but that gave our guys a little boost. You know what? Give me the Suns. Whatever we need to do to play the Suns, give me the Suns.
Yeah. So John's taking the Suns. Tim, it seems like everyone wants to avoid the Clippers. That's just general consensus. Tim, what do you think?
I mean, that was exactly my thought. Is I don't want to play the Clippers. Let somebody else beat up on them before we have to see them at some point. You know.
Can you imagine a Clippers-Lakers first round?
Oh, I would love it.
I'd love to see it.
We'd love that. The league wouldn't.
No,
right?
No kidding.
Right? That's a Western Conference final.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Right. And I'm saying the league doesn't want that. Totally my guess. I mean, who knows? This stuff all works itself out. But that's a Western Conference final. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Tim.
No, you're good. I don't want to see the Clippers. I mean, Ro and I were just talking about this earlier. Is, you know, the thing about the Clippers roster is they've got guys that can take over, like individually take over at any given point. Like you've got Paul George, which, you know, playoff Paul doesn't really play that great, but, you know, maybe he's learned his lesson from you know, last year and maybe
I'll take playoff Paul over 95% of the league.
Yeah,
I mean that dude.
I don't want to take anything. That's my point. Is like Paul George can take over a game. He can win you a series. He's that good.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Kawhi. You've got even guys like Nick Batum can take over a game if he really wants to.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen it before. We've seen it as a Blazer. He's done it. You know, I think the Clippers are a scary matchup. If we were to face them, I'll take my chances. After watching the game last night, I'll take my chances with the Suns. Before last night, I was thinking, no, there's no way I want to go up against the Suns. They're too hot.
Yeah,
they're way too good for us to see in the first round.
Yeah,
But are they the? Oh, I'm sorry, Ro. Go ahead, man.
Oh, I was just gonna add on to what Tim was saying is that the Clippers. I mean, the scary part is that they have a lot of high-level players. A lot of high-level backups too. I mean, you talked about Batum. We could talk about Pat Bev and
they brought in Rondo,
Serge Ibaka, even Zubac. Zubac is like vying for a spot to take over Ibaka's spot. It's just Reggie Jackson. I mean, they've got a lot of high-level playmakers that it's just absolutely scary. And I know that people kind of bash on the Clippers because they can't seem to figure it out during the playoffs. But they're still an absolutely scary team, and I would take my chances with the Suns too, just because there's really only maybe 3 people to fear that are really high-level players, and then the rest are role players. It just so happens that Devin Booker is a walking bucket, and CP3 has just he's just an alpha dog, man. Like, as much hate as he gets, it just seems like every 2-pointer he takes, it's gonna go in. I mean, that's just
CP3 is ridiculous, and you saw it at the end of the game last night.
Yeah,
he can slow things down, methodically get in there and do his thing, and and this applies to the Clippers. Has the just like Melo has the respect of the refs, is going to get the whistle. And Tim was talking about the Clippers. Yeah, he didn't even mention Beverly.
And
to think their strength, honestly, the Clippers' strength. Once again, I'd have to look at. Oh, hold on, he's getting a call.
It's our fans calling. I don't even know how to do this.
Hold on, I'm done.
We've lost John. The sector's in the building.
Damn. I was just making sure it wasn't my wife calling me, man. I had
to check my phone too for a second. I was
right?
Like, is that
right?
That's probably my wife checking on me.
Mr. Big Baller here.
Yeah, best part is it's a landline too.
I know, right?
That's how old I am.
No, they heard the bashing of DraftKings, and they were telling us that we're canceled from the network now.
Yeah.
Damn. Blame me. AJ, cut that out.
The rise and the fall, man. The rise and the fall.
Sorry to derail what you were saying.
Yeah, no. Just real quick on the Clips. I'd have to look. Like I said, I'm not a metrics guy. I'm not I don't look at that stuff. All I know is they got a whole bunch of lockdown defenders.
Oh yeah.
Lockdown defenders, and when the playoffs slow down, like I said earlier, dude, they could run Pat Beverly, and they could put Nick Batum on CJ, put Pat on Dame, and then then there's that guy Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I mean, dude, they could put 5 players out there and should just put Cousins on Nurk. And Cousins is no defensive wizard, but he's a big body, and that's how Nurk gets his, is by being so big. Like, they could put 5 guys out there, bro, that can lock down at any time.
But I'll tell you what,
they're tough, and I'll prefer not to see them. Yeah.
But how great would it be if and when Dame dismantles that team, that franchise?
Listen to this.
Does this
That's
thing
messed up. Right. Yeah, Dame definitely took apart that OKC. Now they literally have, and I'm not joking, 47 draft picks in the next 2 drafts.
That's insane.
47 first. They have every first round pick for the next 2 years.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
Have you talked to Dame about that?
About that whole thing?
That whole situation?
OKC?
Yeah.
Nah, you know what? When it happened, it was so crazy. And then that was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, I think so.
2 years ago.
Yeah. And then by the time that stuff all wound down, we were back. And then they go to second round, and then we don't broadcast second round. So I'm not on the team playing and stuff like that after. So I didn't get a chance like the next day to talk to him. But then the next season, by then it all kind of wound down and stuff, and I didn't talk to him. Funny thing about Dame is, I think I've become so cool with him because we actually don't talk about hoops.
Okay.
He's a fighting fan, dude. He's boxing, as you probably see on his social media.
Yeah.
And the fact that I did boxing for years with HBO and Fox and stuff, and he knew, like, he'd text me when I'm in the truck, and I'd shoot a picture outside when you see Floyd Mayweather walk by, and I'd text it to him. He's like, "That's my dog," things like that. Or I got pictures with guys in the airport, and I'll send it to him. So he knows I love boxing. And we do movies and stuff like that, and just talk about music. He's like, for an old white dude, he's like, your music. So, but I don't ever talk hoops that much with him. Other than, one of the things I remember talking to Dame about hoops is, I didn't mean to go off on some random stuff.
No, go for it.
I asked him once who he gets worked up enough, to play the most, who he gets pumped up enough. This was probably like his 3rd year in the league. And he said at the time, he always got pumped to play Chris Paul and then Westbrook. Those were like his 2 that he would get most pumped on. Yeah. He'd get pumped up to play those guys for sure. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to go off on that.
No, I asked the question.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I actually wanted
I'm glad you had time. I'm glad you had time to ask questions between phone calls.
I know, seriously.
Right?
Yeah, I gotta talk to my wife about that. I gotta talk
pull me out of my urban oasis
to take a phone call.
I'm out there listening to the new J. Cole and
I
drinking
know,
my
for real.
tea.
I know. I stopped mine too. I was listening to that album as well, and
then now this dude's getting phone calls.
Well, if we're gonna talk about boxing real quick, Who are you taking, Mayweather or Logan Paul? Don't spit out your drink.
It's unfortunate that Floyd didn't look too good. He looks like he's out of shape.
He does,
which surprises me. It surprised me because he's a killer.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Floyd's gonna kick this dude's ass. What are their weights? Are they similar? I mean, they have to be similar, right? Or did they not do that?
I don't think so. I think Logan Paul is way
a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Is he really?
I
think Floyd still got him, man. He's too fast. He's gonna kick that dude's ass.
Yeah.
Too fast.
And that's
too
just
smart.
me. I hope he does. I'll be honest. I'm not up to speed on all you young kids and this social media stuff. I don't even know who the hell these dudes are. I'm like, who are these? What is this all about?
Yeah.
And yeah, he's not fighting Vanilla Ice or somebody, dude. He's fighting Floyd Mayweather.
I know,
Floyd's
absolutely.
I hope he kicks that dude's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. I mean, like Floyd Mayweather, 150. He's 150.
Okay.
Paul is 180. So he's got 30 pounds on him. He's
So
also
it's
taller too.
Okay, so if that dude,
So-
if he's got his slap, so that means what? He's got more behind his punch.
Yeah.
His punches are going to be a lot more. I think hopefully Floyd gets him in his speed. Floyd didn't look like he was in the best shape though, dude, at that event. And that kind of scares me.
What's funny is that like when that fight was like being rumored, we're totally off the rails, by the way, fans.
Yeah.
We're not talking about basketball or Blazers
we've
at
jumped
all
the
right
shark
now.
here.
Yeah,
we
we're
have jumped the shark.
Man, but hey, both of your fans, both of your subscribers,
yes, yeah,
which I'm sure
our
both of
moms,
your
yeah.
Moms love me, by the way. Both of them, they know what I'm on. They know when I'm on your rundown sheet with all the cute little notes. That's all out the door. We're just going just off the rails.
Off
like
the rails.
You said.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boy Casey Holdall has something, man, back in the day, and I went on it. I knocked on his door, and he's all trying to read field goal percentages and stuff on this big website, and I'm like, dude, I'm banging on the wall, and someone on the chest, I think that's Big John, and I went over and banged on the door and walked in. Highest rated show they've ever had. Come on, bro.
That's why we brought you back, man.
Yeah. Dude,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Add a little dash of street cred to this.
Just
stuff,
like
man.
Dogecoin, we're going straight to the moon.
Straight to the moon.
See, that's another thing. I don't understand any of that stuff is either, man.
I don't either.
I got a debit card.
I've got some.
I got
me
a
too.
debit card and some cash. You kids and all this fake money, man. I don't know what's going on with that. Is that like Nintendo money or something?
Who knows, man?
It's so hard to even like fathom that there's a different currency other than the US dollar that's like really popular that people are exchanging. It's like, how does this hold value?
I don't understand how it's
start?
legal.
Yeah.
I don't understand how it's legal. And Cuban, though, I will give him props. He allows
Dogecoin.
at their arena American to pay with that stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. And I guess if the owner backs it, because how are they applying that to merchandise and food? How are they paying for that? I mean, and then does he?
It's so weird.
Once you spend it, do those other people own it now?
I mean, that's a good question.
I
don't
think
know.
so. I want to say
So
yes.
there's some hot dog salesman. There's some hot dog salesman in Dallas. That's just rolling deep now, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
he sold a couple extra milkshakes. Now he's got a Bentley parking down by Luca.
Thanks to the
Luka
Shiba
doesn't-
Inu, that
Right,
Dogecoin.
I feel like we need to get sponsored by Doge now.
Luca doesn't punch him in the junk and steal it.
Man, we totally digress. I'm gonna just wrap this up. We gotta get to just stories with Big John. I'm gonna wrap it up. So the last game of the season, obviously, is against the Nuggets. We have to pay attention to the Lakers because that's who we could also shuffle with. They have 2 games: Pacers, Pelicans, and then the Mavs. They have the Raptors and T-Wolves. So of course, we've got the hardest out of all those people. We'll see how that pans out on Sunday, right? The game's on Sunday? Yes.
Yeah.
It's on Sunday.
6 o'clock. They changed times on you.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock on Sunday. You heard it from Big John. And with that being said, we're going to get into questions with Big John. I mean, there's been such a difference between the last time we spoke to you and today, and we just want to know just how is your work different? You know, I know that there's some rules that have been lifted, you know, regarding fans. Just kind of speak to us about how things are different at work.
As far as us and the mandates and the regulation stuff, nothing's changed. My boss, director of broadcasting, that's going to stay. until everything changes everywhere. That stuff yesterday kind of isn't going to apply to us. I'm fully vaccinated as of yesterday.
Congratulations.
You can tell I kind of got a glow. I'm looking a little bit better today.
You got the glow.
It brings out my dimple, right?
You got that soul glow.
But no,
dimple.
so officially, to joke around, shot some texts out yesterday. Hey, because me, my family, everybody were very pro mask. You just got to do this. And I was like, hey, I don't have to wear my mask anymore. My boss is like, well, if you want to work, you do. 'Cause, he put me in my place, which I'm good with. But no, as far as us, man, still in our zones, still in our places, not around anybody. I'm quite sure it's going to continue through the rest of the season, which is fine with us. We're into it now. We know how it goes. We don't go in certain places. Cool seeing fans there. I'm not sure the regulations and stuff. With the CDC and all their recommendations, but I'm quite sure that the NBA has their stringent stuff. They're still going to enforce that, which is good. I think it's great. But yeah, I don't think that's going to change. The thing that's different, fans were there. I honestly didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal because I've been watching around the league and, we were the last ones not to have fans. And I could barely hear them or see them on the broadcast and stuff. But I'll tell you what, man, the players were pumped. If you guys watched our broadcast that first game, they look like a bunch of potato heads out there running around like they're in kindergarten. You got Dame and all those guys having fun. And that's got to be good. It's something to play off. It's, just like playing at the park in front of people, man. It's get you pumped up, and different guys use that. I'm quite sure Dame is someone that, and I know for a fact CJ feeds off of hate. So when we're on the road and dudes are all hating on him and stuff, that just gets him going even more. But other than that, with us, it's all pretty much staying the same, work-wise, for sure.
Nice. So I got a question. So before, when the season started, I think I had heard, or maybe you had said that you weren't traveling with the team or anything. Are you still?
Right.
Are you currently not traveling with the team still? And
yeah, we still are. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. It's okay. Go ahead.
We are still. That's not changing. That's not going to change this year. I have no clue how the future is going to pan out. But yeah, we're still doing everything from back at the Moda, in our broadcast studios there that we used to do games out of a long time ago.
Okay.
But it's just, dude, it's tough.
A
lot of people probably don't see what we see as all the tough part of it. But yeah, it's definitely, our hands are tied as compared to being on the road with them. So yeah, this has been just bananas not being on the road and stuff. I saw Dame walking up and one of the coaches walking up the ramp to get into the arena right by our truck, and they're like, dude, where you been? What is going on? I go, I know it's not the same without me.
I know.
But I don't know.
Stotts even forgot your name, dude. He called you Jim. I saw that.
Dude, that happened. That happened since. Are you kidding me with this dude? I thought we were boys.
Jim Lukrofka. He said it right. He said it right into the mic, man.
And of course, my chair at work now on the back says Jim.
Oh man.
My monitors, like right here where it says your name on these monitors, it says Jim, and it's like, come on, dude, grow up.
Yeah,
grow up.
Yeah, RJ, you gotta put Jim on the bottom of John's screen
if
here.
we're changing,
AJ, you do that, dude. It's over. We're done, bro. You get no dodgy coins.
You call RJ, AJ, John, Jim. I think it's even.
Yeah,
same thing.
Exactly.
Do you have a particular like just reflecting on this weird year? It's been a absolutely crazy year. With your work, I assume. Do you have a favorite story or an experience that like stands out to you that you'd like to share with us? Like anything in particular?
During all this year?
This year.
Shoot, dude, it's weird. Because the crazy stuff and the cool stuff is usually when we're on the planes or walking through Manhattan or being at other arenas and stuff like that. This season, it's just so isolated. Like we did that game yesterday. There's just no one at the arena. There's just no one there, and there's just like 15 of us there. And so I was done some editing. We weren't having lunch yet. I just walked out on the court, man, and shot some free throws by myself. There was like two lights on. Yeah.
Wow.
It was nuts. There was just no one there, and it's like you just never see that. And then home games are crazy because you're kind of out of the mix. You're off to the side. Usually I get an hour off a day. I'll go have something to eat and then I literally just go sit on the team bench and watch the guys warm up and just chat with people for an hour. And I miss that. You don't get to hang out and talk and visit and stuff. But as far as anything of this, just the whole package of it's just crazy. It's just a lot of things we're dealing with on the broadcast. We're not there. You guys might notice if you watch a broadcast. A lot of people don't notice, but if you watch and you're seeing a soundbite from Dame or a soundbite from Nurk or Coach, they're on some wall like this, and it looks like they're, they're just sitting there like that, and the lighting's all bad, and the audio sounds like they're talking into a can, and it's just like
that's you
that
that
type of stuff. Yeah, right. That's my work. That type of stuff drives us crazy as perfectionists, because everything's HD now and 4K, and we're wanting stuff to make. You see that Supermo stuff that we do, and we want. For us, that's it's like building a car. It's like building an ugly car. We want to build a car and have it look dope and have it run well and stuff, and we're just kind of piecing things together this year. So my memory, nothing off the court, nothing cool, nothing with the players, nothing hanging with anybody. Honestly, it would just be how tough it was to get these games on the air for everybody. And the fact that people don't notice the bad stuff. Oops, my bad. The fact that people don't notice the bad stuff, maybe we're doing a better job than we think. But, it's killing us, seeing the product we're putting out there. Sometimes it's tough.
Yeah, one thing that I thought was actually pretty cool is that on the broadcast, they shouted out your daughter for her birthday. That was pretty cool. I saw that video. I think did you have Dame or CJ shout her out too?
Yeah, all the guys like Nurk and Mello and Dame and CJ, and they're always really cool with that kind of stuff, man. Dame and CJ have been shouting out to my daughter, happy birthday,
nice,
since
man.
5th grade, and they did a little video for her school class and said hi to the teacher and different things like that. A lot of times that stuff doesn't get seen, man, and so those guys are cool. That's what's changed since I talked to you guys last. My son went back to college down in LA.
Nice.
Playing some football down there at a JC.
Awesome.
And then my daughter turned 16 and on her birthday got her driver's license and then snapped her collarbone in a high school game night. Yeah, 3 hours later, man, she got slammed down from behind. It was really ugly. Snapped her collarbone and rehabbing. She's back now and she's killing it. She's already knocking in goals left and right. So.
Nice.
I mean, we gave a birthday shout out too, but for some reason we didn't make the video montage.
Oh.
Yeah,
we were pretty upset.
Your boy AJ didn't send it to me. So I didn't see it. We'll blame it on that dude since he's not here.
There we go. AJ, you gotta step it up.
Just a proud dad. You guys have kids or no?
Yeah, I got 2.
Right on. Well, I hope they look like your wife, Tim, and not you.
Oh, thank God they do.
I know.
Thank God they do.
Luckily mine look like me, man. They're model material. If they look like my wife, dude, we would be in trouble, man. She won't see this, right? AJ?
No. No. We're sending her a copy.
This is Big John's wife. No, man, I didn't mean to go off, but family's good. That's the only thing that's changed. It's different. Work's staying the same, man. Still, the Blazers don't mess around, which is cool. The NBA doesn't mess around. They're keeping things stringent as they should. And
absolutely.
Shit, man. I know everybody has different opinions on politics, religion, and everything, but I'm still gonna rock a mask. We got to make sure we handle all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, same here. I mean, we don't really have a choice, Ro and I. As long as we want to stay employed, we got to keep wearing our mask.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your work is like that. You guys have to.
We both work at hospitals, so we have to.
Oh, of course,
absolutely.
And I don't think it's. I tell people I don't think it's going anywhere, man.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, if we ever do get back to going on the road, I have a feeling we'll be wearing masks on the plane. I mean, it just feels that way. I'm no expert by any means.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, you think about it, I haven't had a cold since the pandemic started.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
if there's a positive side effect,
I just can't imagine going back to normal, not wearing a mask, going to New York, being on the train there, or just the max, dude. Being on the max and not wearing a mask, it's gonna feel weird, man, when all these things lift up. Me personally, I'm probably still gonna rock it. I just need to kind of watch the situation a little longer. I mean, not to get into too deep into this or too deep into politics or anything like that, but I don't see it going away either.
Hey, you guys carry around a little bottle of hand sanitizer too?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's something that changed for me.
You know what though? I only go to work and home. That's the only places I go now.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Rose Garden, there we go. Moda has so much stuff, man. Wipes and bleach spray, and I got it everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then I come home, so it's like I actually don't have something like that in my backpack, but I do have just a backup mask, man. And it's crazy. And you said I haven't got sick since February before all this hit. I had a really bad flu right before, and I haven't been sick since. The only thing that's getting me is my allergies, with all this weather.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. And I just booked my first work post Blazers. I'm going to do some MMA in Connecticut,
nice.
And like the first week of June. And I just booked my first flight in like 18 months, and I didn't even think about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to hop on a plane and starting to get back to normal a little bit. And I go to Japan at the end of July for
nice, man.
26 days. Yeah. Going over there to do Olympics again. And their mandates, and they're super stringent over there. The only reason I'm allowed in is just because we're working. So that whole thing will be crazy. Dude, we have to shout. You guys have to hit me up when I'm over there.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, before we switch gears real quick, we had mentioned boxing and kind of off the rails here, but have you seen the matchup between the two strongmen, the boxing match? It's the Mountain from Game of Thrones, half Thor Bjornsson or whatever, versus Eddie Hall.
I'm in already. Who versus who?
Against who? Patrick Beverly?
No, Eddie Hall. He's another strongman.
Hall, okay.
It stems from I want to say like a 2017 strongman competition where half Thor thought he was cheated out of the win, and Eddie Hall won. They used to be buddies. Now they're not. They're like mortal enemies now, and each guy is looking to knock the other guy out. And they've got.
When is that? That
it's
would
in
be
September.
Fun.
It's in September. That's what I'm saying, John. You got to get on that one, man.
Dude, that'd be fun, man.
Get us backstage.
And that's his name. His name is Half Thor.
Half Thor. And I think he goes by Thor.
What would you be? What would your name be? Half who? I'm half Zebo.
Half Jordan.
I got that same.
Half Jordan.
I got that Zebo body.
Half goat. Half Jordan.
Right? Who would you guys be? Half who?
Man, half Thor. Half
no, I already said it. I'm half Jordan, man.
Half Jordan. All right.
You got to. You've got to. Come on.
Nothing, Ro? We'll put you on the spot.
For me, dude, I'm trying to think of who my game's modeled after. Maybe Rebecca Lobo. Half Rebecca Lobo.
This dude said half Lobo. That's messed up, man. Half Rondé Hollis Jefferson's more like.
What's that? Half Roko's free throws.
Half Roko. You're Roko.
Roko, there you go.
Hey, what's up? There we go. We found it. Thank you, guys.
Done.
All right.
See, this wasn't on the rundown. Could you imagine trying to sell that to somebody, some sponsor?
Oh, God.
So check it out, man. We're going to talk about I'm half Rebecca Lobo. Give us your money. Give us your money. And John's
Canceled
ugly wife.
on the spot.
John's ugly wife, and you're half Rebecca Lobo.
Yeah, show's canceled. If we told anybody what we were going to talk about today.
Oh, dude, I don't even know how you're going to set a preview up for this one.
Yeah, I don't know,
man. I think we're screwed.
That's AJ's job. AJ, you got your work cut out for you, man.
Time to earn that check, bro. You couldn't even be on time to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, just make sure you give a proper shout out to Jim Lukrofka.
I like it.
All right, with that being said, we're going to go to our last segment, and that, of course, is called Giving Props. And I'm going to start with our definition, and that is giving applause, giving kudos to a certain person, story, or situation. So, John, all I need to know is if you give it props or you don't. So I want to know, John, Tim, do you give this props? J. Cole just released a new album titled The Off Season. He had a song where he actually sampled Dame Lillard's post-game interview in a song called Punchin' the Clock. I don't know if you guys have heard it. It's a great song. Tim, I want to know, do you give J. Cole props for the sample?
You know, I haven't heard it yet. I'm a little late on picking that album up. But you gotta give it props, man. Sampling our hometown hero, you gotta give that props.
Oh yeah,
I think that's
absolutely.
dope. Absolutely.
John, do you give it props?
Yeah, for sure, man. That's very cool. I know that J. Cole is one of Dame and CJ's favorites, so that's got to be real cool. I believe I was listening to it today. I believe that, and J. Cole stuff is so well produced and tight. I love it. I think that it was an interview with Chris Haynes back in the day that they took the sample of the piece from. So I'm friends with Chris on Facebook, and he posted, he's like, hey, they sampled my interview with Dame, blah, blah, blah. And I put on there, I was like, well, I'm glad they use that sample and not your raps. Because he's horrible.
Hey, I've heard them.
You guys,
I've heard them.
Have you seen him? Dude, come on, bro. I had him on my podcast last year, and I was like, dude, no, that should not be happening. There's certain things. June, I lost you.
Oh, no, I'm screen sharing for the next one.
Oh, you're messing up. Oh, you're going to do it. Anyway, no, you scared me. All of a sudden, I'm looking at your taxes. I got your social security
zeros,
number.
man.
I got your social security. I'm seeing naked pictures of you.
Oh,
listening
God.
to J. Cole.
Yeah, you got to use a magnifying
man.
glass for that.
I went on and on. Super props. I think that's really cool that he did that, man. I love that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I also give it props. And for our next story, we have Dame Lillard and Adidas recently had a collab with Reebok. They called this shoe the Dame Gnosis. It's a tribute to Shaquille O'Neal's Reebok Shaq Gnosis. Man, John, you are a sneakerhead, so I gotta go to you first. Do you give Dame and Adidas props for this?
This is the first time we've seen that new EP, the extended play versions, where it's like it looks different. I'm not talking the color, but like the straps and the lacings and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's I give props for that. I thought the Shaq shoe back in the day was one of the ugliest shoes ever created, so I can't give props on that. But the fact that Adidas owns Reebok, it's a great. I give them props for mixing it up and giving old school Shaq some love. That was cool at Dame. But there's a USA version of these that's like white, red, white, and blue that's just nasty. So as far as the Shaq itself, no props to Dame.
Ooh. I give it props.
What you think?
I give it props just for the nod. I always like it when players give a nod to their predecessors. I think that's dope. Like I honestly, like Shaq's shoes were pretty bunk, but I'll probably get a pair of these.
Dude, I was about to say that. I mean, like just remixing someone's shoe, like a legend, like Shaq's, and making it actually look pretty dope. I think that alone is like a great tribute. And plus, it forces people to actually look up Shaq's old shoe, because like I'm sure it's forgotten, right? Like no one knows Shaq Gnosis.
None of these little kids right now knew about that. So props for that.
Yeah,
I've got a pair of Air Force Ones that are like old school. Oh, they're right here. Look, I did this last time.
You did.
Yeah,
these ones right here.
History repeats itself.
These are like old school what you call it, man? The ACGs hiking boots.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they made a version of those, and I like that. I like that they do old school stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I give myself props. for that.
I'm waiting for Dame to bring back a nod to the Omni Lights, the Reebok Pump Omni Lights. Those are dope. I still have a pair actually.
I saw D Brown when he was an assistant coach at Sacramento, and I said, "Coach," and he turned around, and I bent down and was pretending to like pump up my shoes. And yeah, I'm quite sure that he gave me the dirty look. I'm quite sure every dork in the world has done that to him. I don't know what I was trying to do there, but yeah.
All right, it seems like we're a little mixed on this collab. So we're a little mixed on props on that one. Our next story is most sports arenas have recently opened up their seats to fans, and going to a game is a good way to relax. Let's just say that. And this man at a Detroit Tigers game took relaxing at a game to the next level. I'm going to bring up a picture for you guys right now. Here he is. This man is just half naked probably in his underwear, relaxing at a Detroit Tigers game.
No.
Big John.
No. Well,
do you give this man props?
No. Not at all. In fact, I looked like that in the backyard right before you guys started. I was in that same position.
Just legs up
no,
and everything.
I don't even have anything to say here. Hell no.
I got a question
No
though. Like, as a broadcasting crew, this is for you, John. From a broadcasting perspective, like, do you tell your camera guys to maybe step to the sides where you get a better angle not to show that guy?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they obviously just took. That's like a low first handheld or low first camera aiming. Yeah, most definitely. That should not have made air. And especially if they have time to put that graphic in there, that was on air for a good 5-6 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah, I'm going to say no props.
Yeah, we don't want to see this in HD.
Oh, you know
slow-mo.
what? That's RJ. That's why he's not here.
That's true.
My boy RJ is a Tigers fan. You didn't know it. That's where he's at.
There he is, right there, with the shades and everything. He's trying to, trying to like, he was avoiding work with us. He's got the shades on.
He said, "I hope Ro doesn't see me."
Absolutely.
Yeah, no props there, bro.
No props, I think, all the way around. And our last story, it's a Chicago black cat jumps from a fifth floor of a burning building and lands on its feet, and then it runs off like nothing happens. Like, I need to show you guys this video here. Here it is. I don't know if you guys could see this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The cat, I think it's right here. Any moment.
For it.
Right there.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, damn.
And then it runs off. We had a follow-up report because it jumped from the fifth floor. We had a follow-up report. The cat completely uninjured. Not injured, not scraped, not anything. Tim, I want to know, do you give this cat props?
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
Absolutely crazy.
Like, hopefully he didn't have any other like family in there, right? Like, did the fire break out and he's like, "Well, you guys are on your own. I'm out. Good luck."
Now this dude Tim is questioning the cat's loyalty.
Yeah, man. There's a reason why dogs are man's best friend, not cats.
Man, yeah, hey, they're probably trying to cook that thing and eat it. That's why he took off. That's what started the fire. That's what started the fire.
Do they do that in Chicago?
I don't know, man. I'll tell you what, that props to that cat, because with my military training and extensive martial arts, I've done that before, and I injured myself. I've jumped out of 5-story buildings all the time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back in my Mac Daddy days, you had to escape out the back like Notorious B.I.G. No, props to that cat, man. That was very nice.
Yeah,
that
man.
Was cool.
I gotta give props to that cat too. And that actually wraps up our episode, John. Thank you so much for your time, man. I actually want to kick it to you real quick. Is there anything you wanna plug? You wanna shout out? You wanna tell us what you're doing?
Well, it's not gonna be his podcast because he hasn't started that yet.
I was just about to bring that up. Where's that podcast, man? We need some episodes.
I know, dude. I know. I got stuff lined up. I've just been busy, which is good.
Yeah.
It's the first time I haven't been busy in a year, so it's good that I've been busy. Things are slowing down now. Once the season's over, I'll slow down big time. I got like some time off before I head over to Japan, like I was talking about, so I'll try to get some stuff done. You know what's weird, man? Props, I don't know, man. Just everybody. You guys for putting this together. Shout outs to you guys for putting this together. I know it. And that right there is an example. It's tough to do, so people don't understand how much hard work goes into it. And then you guys are obviously carrying AJ's weight because he's not here. Doing the work of 3
Shout
men.
out.
Yeah. No, man, you know what? I will give a shout out to all these people out there. They call them frontline workers, where you guys are working in the hospital industry. The fact that these people are at the convention center and PDX and doing all this stuff, man, vaccinating people, trying to get stuff back to normal. My daughter just got her. Yeah, my daughter just got her first one about a week and a half ago. So
Nice.
just want to thank everybody that's in this industry that's out there doing that stuff. Not basketball related, but
Appreciate
you know,
that, man.
just getting us all back to how we could, or how it should be. And then wear your damn mask, even though I guess you guys, I'm sure, fully vaccinated, working in a hospital, right?
Oh, yeah.
You guys
we
are.
were one of the first. Yeah, we were one of the first.
So, he's all bragging.
I know this guy.
Ooh,
Yeah, we got ours before you, John.
Welcome
Jim.
to the club, right? Welcome to the club. I had it last summer.
I know, dude.
My name's Rebecca Lobo.
This network's getting to my head,
Half Lobo.
man.
Half
You know,
Lobo.
I just,
Ooh, Rebecca
So
Lobo got
Call him Robo.
Robo, I like that.
Rebecca Robo.
Yeah.
Dang.
No, yeah, man. Just props to everybody out there doing that. Just trying to get things back to how they're supposed to be.
Yeah, well, thank you for being on the show, John. Of course,
Yeah,
you
man.
could come back at any time. Just hit us up. And if you want us on your show, I don't know if you'd want us hooligans on again. But
Well, I mean,
Again, if he ever starts it up.
yeah, right. If I ever do it, content's content. I'm sure I can have you guys on. It'll lower a lot of expectations with my fans. So maybe I start with you,
All two of them, right?
and then we
yeah,
work our
build it
way
up.
up.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's just getting better every
right.
time,
There
which
we
is
go.
key. And that's
There
key.
we go.
You got to start with a low bar.
Yeah, I mean, keep expectations low. That's always a good thing to
Oh,
live by.
keep expectations low. And
Yeah,
then-
there we
and then
go.
That'll be
Robo.
the name of my podcast.
You are a dad, aren't you?
Oh, dude, I'm an old ass dad. I'm cool. I got that dad swag, man, but I'm just so old.
Well, thank you, John, once again for being on the show. And our last thank you, of course, goes to our fans. You guys are always on Twitter with us. When we're watching games, you guys are replying with us. You just make our job so easy, just giving us content all the time. And Tim, with that being said, what you got to say?
Well, that's it for this episode. Don't forget to rate, follow, and subscribe if you're digging what we're saying. Remember to stay safe out there, Rip City. We'll catch you next time on the Busted Bucket Podcast. Thanks for listening.